Hi, Runner Story family. This is Allison Gilliard with Runner Story, where every story needs to be heard. And what a unique and fun story we have for you guys. We got to sit down with Brian Goodell, who is one of the inventors for Bibboards. So super fun. Brian is such a cool and unique individual. And not only do we talk about running, but we talk about entrepreneurship, and we talk about what it means to be an inventor and what it means to see a need, fill a need. And Brian has such a big heart. I got to meet his wife and Kat, who's a part of the team, an incredible team that they have. And I just appreciate Brian for taking the time to sit down with us and share his story. We've actually been trying to get him on for a year now. We met last running event and just connected. And I was like, wow, I want to know the story behind this. And we finally were able to do it. And so he is a very well sought after guy. He's very popular at the running event. And so it was just really, really fun to be able to sit down and just to hear his heart for community, his heart for truth, and his heart for this company that's come out of Bibboards. So fun. And a special shout out and thank you to Bibboards. They donated some little fun giveaways that we gave to our Patreon supporters. So that was a lot of fun. And again, thank you to Bibboards. Guys, if you have not had their belt or their bib boards, they even have like some really fun, unique stuff for your cups or your Crocs. But they also launched a Pacer wrist. And so really fun things. And again, he's always inventing, always trying to figure out how we can make running better. And he's got it going on. So super fun. So thank you, Brian. Thank you, Bibboards. And thank you so much to the team at Bibboards for all that you guys do and for your hearts. It's just an amazing crew. So thank you, Brian, so much. Guys, we also have a discount. You can go to runyourstory.com and check that out for a discount as well with Bibboards. We love being a Bibboards ambassador and we appreciate them so very much. So thank you for that, Bibboards, and for allowing us to represent you guys. Absolutely amazing. Speaking of amazing, guys, it is Christmas. Can you believe it? And if you are like me and you've not done your Christmas shopping, shame, 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 I know. Who has time? But our podcast partner of this month is Do Goods Mercantile Company. And guys, go in there, tell them that you are a Run Your Story listener and you want to use the Run Your Story coupon, and they will give you that discount. You can also find them online, find them on social media. They're downtown Mobile, but if you want to place an online order, you need help, contact my friends at Do Goods and they will help you guys out. They are absolutely amazing. They are giving our listeners and our community a 20% discount off an item. Guys, they have everything from local to global, and everything in there has a purpose. I cannot tell you how much I love going shopping there, because I know that not only am I buying something fun and different, but I'm buying something that's going to make a difference. Whether that's a local nonprofit or a national nonprofit or even a global nonprofit. Shop with purpose at Do Goods and do some good. So love Annie and Chops, love the gang, absolutely incredible. But don't forget to tell them that Run Your Story sent you and get that special coupon as well. All right, guys, gear up, get ready, get set, and go run with Brian from Bibboards. Thank you, Brian, so much for finally taking time to sit down. We actually met last year at TRE at the running event.
Yeah.
And so fun. And since then, I've nagged you and hounded you and be like, I really want to know your story. And then I've recently become a Bibboards ambassador. So it's been really fun for all these connections. And we interviewed Sagirah last year. So it's been really fun, just all the connections of how Bibboards. And so now here we are.
Here we are. Yeah. A year later, you've been persistent. Thank you. Yeah. I did meet you through Sagirah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But, she's doing well. She's awesome. Yeah. So I'm glad we're here. And yeah, this is one of those things I want to share my story. So hopefully it's interesting.
So let's jump in. How does your run story begin?
That's a great question. I've been running for a long time, if that counts. So running can go back. They asked me this yesterday. And I was like, how did my run story begin? And I started thinking of my childhood of I played on a national soccer team. Soccer players run a ton. So I've ran like crazy, play 120 games a year. So I've been running as a kid, and I always thought I was a cheetah. I literally ran to school every day thinking I was a cheetah. There was no doubt you could tell me that I wasn't. So it started probably around 5 when I became a cheetah and identified as a cheetah. But yeah, then just I got into football and basketball, and I played college football. And I always wanted to be the fastest, short distance. Here we are at the running event where there's Olympians, that the fastest people in the world in long distance. And I've always thought I was fast until I came here. Running a 40-yard dash. I will say I did run a 4.44, which is fast, and it's right. But yeah, my journey started in 1984. No, 82.
Okay.
So that's my original journey.
I love that. So now you are Bibboards. So how does that story begin? Because I'm fascinated by this. So how did Bibboards come to be?
So I'm an inventor. I invented another product called Diptops. It's a spill-resistant lid for people who use smokeless tobaccos.
Okay.
And I invented that with my friend Anthony. It was to clean up, and people use Copenhagen and Skolde spit. And this was a lid that snapped on beverage cans, became spill resistant. And my patent attorney was a guy named Rob Greenspoon. And we got that product into 33,000 retail stores. Anthony and I did very well. We sold millions of those. And Rob was my patent attorney. Rob's an avid runner. And Rob, not your typical, what you'd say, lawyer attorney. He's just the nicest guy. He's a runner. He's a marathoner. And Rob became a friend. And he said, I'm going to invent something one day, and I want you to help me with it. And I'm like, this is 2005. So 2009, he calls me and says, hey, I was at Chicago Marathon, and I was fumbling with safety pins in the morning. And I look around, and everyone's doing the same thing. It's freezing out. They're fumbling. And he's like, there's got to be a better way. And he told me, he says, hey, I got this idea about these snap fasteners. And I'm like, does it make a hole? And this and that. And I was like, I don't really get it. It makes a hole. Safety pins make a hole. I'm like, Rob, not really an idea. I think, you know. Fast forward until 2016, he calls me, he goes, hey, remember that idea I told you about in 2009? And I was like, no. And he goes, that fastener. And I said, huh. And at this time, I launched with Groupon. I was Dr. Daily Deal. I was the first agent for Groupon. I was the first person to supply goods to Groupon, G3 Platinum, and I was meeting with all their executives and whatnot. And then Rob said, well, that idea I got a patent on. And so the way that works is I said, I'm not interested unless we can make it non-invasive. It has to be where it doesn't make any holes in it. Save it for apparel, save it for fingers. We go after kids and let them use it. And I think that solves the problem of, well, if safety pins make holes, your product, it doesn't add the value of just putting a logo on it and expressing yourself. So in 16, long story, I said, hey, let me find out. A couple of people I respect. You guys probably do this too. You guys are runners, but if you ask anything in running, you ask your friend who's the influencer, the micro influencer, even macro. What do you think? So Charlie Dohoney was my center of my college football team. Charlie worked at events.com, a registration platform.
Okay.
And I said, Charlie, I got this idea. Okay. Me and Rob had this idea. It's a safety pin replacement. Nobody knows it. And Charlie goes, everybody hates safety pins in running. And he says, there's a magnet out there, but everybody hates that. They tried the adhesive bibs, but nobody liked that. It failed. And I was like, huh. He's, let me ask Mike Riley, though. I was like, who's Mike Riley? He's all click. Hello. He's like, basically, I'll call you later. Well, him and Mike Riley called me, and he's like, hey, this is Mike Riley, the voice of Iron Man, and this and that. And I was like, oh, wow, what do you think? He's like, I think it's awesome. He goes, how do I get involved? And then he said that he helped launch Hoka Shoes and Iron Man, kind of a cool story in himself. Then he said he ate the first power bar. It was like thick like a bar of iron or something like that. And I was like, wow, this guy. And he goes, I'd been doing Iron Man announcing for 30 years. And I'm like, oh, and he says, plus his Iron Man wear the belt of the toggles. He says it bounces, it turns, it chafes, it wobbles. And he goes, it's all they have. They don't like it. He goes, so what do I got to do? And I said, well, let me get back to you. I hung up the phone. I said, I'm doing this. I'm doing this content. If Charlie said it and Mike said it, my wife had been pushing me to her because she ran cross country. She remembers her struggle with how to do it. So yeah, that's how it started originally.
Wow. And here we are, 2024 going into 2025.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my friends still ask me, do you really sell safety pin replacements? Like, well, do you sell fasteners? Is that for a living? Like, do you make money on doing that? And I'm like, yeah, it's glamorous stuff. Man, I sell safety pin replacement.
Well, it's also cool because you were just showing us this really cool wristband that it's a pacer for a marathon.
Yes.
So that's a cool concept too.
Yeah, you know, the evolution of being in the endurance space. So Bibboards, being here is our 6th of 7 years being here at Terry. We're in, I don't know, maybe 250 plus run stores. We picked up a ton of this event too, but I'm trying to innovate all the time. And innovation is interesting in this space. So we talked about this earlier, whether it's a shoe or a sock or what's really new. What's new is hard to be new in certain categories, including fuel and hydration and whatnot. So the race pace band came to me probably about 6 months ago. And I'm like, this is out there. People want to know their times. They want to be more accurate. And then Kat on my team, she's a coach. She runs Boston, London. She runs all these races and she does all this stuff. She's like, oh yeah, I've printed them out, Tyvek'd them, and it was cutting into my wrist. And I did the DIY kit thing they did on Pinterest. And then she's like, it was just so clunky and this and that. She goes, I even write them on my hand at times. And so I'm like, okay, here we are in a space of running, which everything's about technology and getting better, breathable fabric, shoes that improve your race time, smartwatches and devices and things that make you not sweat or whatever, right? Head sweat. And we can't even get an accurate marathon pace coach during a run, like something simple as a pace band. But yeah, I thought, why not? But the customization of it, you could personalize them for each race because not all marathons are created equal. Not all halves are created equal. Not all people are created equal.
That's right.
Some come out too fast. Some do better later in the race. And yeah, sometimes technology doesn't work. Sometimes your watch won't work. I haven't ran Chicago, but I have heard that your watch doesn't work 4 to 5 miles in that whole race. What do you do if you want to know your time? And if people train 3 to 6 months for a race and you don't finish your time, even if it's 30 seconds or a minute off, you feel defeated? I don't know. So we launched race-based bands. We sold out before we got here. I have 5 bands over there.
Wow.
We brought them in, made them, manufactured them, and Fleet Feet, Sacramento bottom, CIM. And so we'll be there in 15, 20 days.
Wow.
We'll be at CIM,
Okay.
qualifier. So yeah, race-based bands, I think, is the future for Bibboards, actually. It's my new baby.
I think that's such a cool thing that you are as a person because you're like, I see this need. I have the mindset of how to create it. Let's do it. So I think it's really cool, Brian.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, everyone's like, why or how? Like, do you just wake up and...
Or you see a need, feel a need.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, it comes down to that basic. People complaining and then the light bulb goes off and you're like, well, if people are complaining, then that means that there must be a better solution that people just aren't thinking about it. And because I can think about it, I'm going to think about it.
Oh, yeah. Because I can think about it, I can't think, ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so true. It's like, why, I don't know, like I'm an innovator. I guess there's a lot cooler products here, right? We billion-dollar companies here. And here I am. I won't tell you how much we make, but we sell millions of products. And we still have just barely cracked the surface.
Yeah.
I said that we're in 2,000 races. There's another, I think, 12,000 races out there. And I got into 2,000 over a 7-year period minus the pandemic, 3 years. So in 4 years, I've gotten in 2,000 races, 250 plus stores, but I'm in, I don't know if I'm in, I think, and I say 500 brands, but it's more than that.
Yeah.
I'm in 100 plus universities, thousands of high schools.
And you're on this podcast.
And I'm on this
Come
podcast.
on.
But there's so much more land to go. I mean, we're still small.
Right.
Like I always tread lightly. How much success have we had is not really successful, but that keeps me going.
It's super cool. So one of the questions I like to ask, because you guys do custom bibboards. So when things get tough, is there something you tell yourself? Is there a mantra that you have?
I don't know. I thought I was going to be an NFL player, right? That doesn't work out.
Okay.
You got to find out, reinvent yourself. You know, it's something I did. It's not who I am. I get more excited. I always say today is like to meet founders and creators of companies is more exciting to me than to go meet Tom Brady or Steph Curry, which Tom Brady and I were on the same high school, but I'll say this, is I'm inspired every day I get up. I want to do something unique. I like to build something.
Yeah.
My kids build Legos. I have no idea how to do that. I have no idea how to, I can't make anything, like build a blocks or anything like that. Like my 6-year-old's 10 times better. I like to build ideas and content to bring them to life. What was really cool, I was watching TV and New York Marathon was on, and I counted how many people were wearing bibboards across the finish line.
Oh, wow.
I was like, there I am.
Oh,
It was shaped cool.
Oh, yeah.
It was really cool. And that's gratifying to me is that people buy my product around the world. And then another Wounded Warrior project. Camera goes up real close on TV. It's all donate to the Wounded Warrior and shows the American flag bib. And there it was, bibboards.
Oh,
This is so cool.
wow.
And then you get an email from Lululemon and they're like, can we get 5,000? You're like, and then you get a check in the mail from Lululemon.
Yeah.
And you're like, Lululemon buys my idea.
Wow.
That's cool.
That is cool.
You know, it's like, yeah, making money is cool, but I find more satisfaction. Even if you made a bunch of money, know who you were, you're like, I'd rather Told you my idea would work.
Yeah.
Why you naysayers? Didn't believe in me? Didn't make it to the NFL? Look at me now, Tom.
I think you're way cooler than Tom. I'm going to do that way cooler. You have some great stories, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
There's more. But you guys, yeah.
So also what's really cool is, so I have the Bibboards running belt. So again, you saw a need, you saw something, and you were like, let's take a different notch up here.
Totally. Yeah, there's another one of those products is like, we're in the race bib fastening world. We're a race bib fastener. Somebody told me we're the Kleenex of race bib fasteners, which is really cool.
I like it.
A lot of the times, even when I was selling my first invention, when I go to 7-Eleven, who's more stores than Walmart, we got in there. They go, do you only have one product? And I'm like, yeah, I only have one. They're like, we love it. We want it. We want it. And he's like, don't you have more? He goes, it takes me more time to set you up as one product. You bring me another 5 or 6. He goes, I'll say, yeah, set them all up.
Wow.
We like to sell more. So it's always been like, and in this space, I've heard somebody yesterday goes, do you guys just have the, well, not, it was like last year. Do you guys just have the one product? Well, I was like, oh crap, here it comes again. Because they want to set you up as like the whole company with a bunch of products. The flip and fuel belt. Honestly, I should have done this a long time ago. We do lots of social media ads, organic stuff, and people's like, I use a run belt. I use a run belt. I use a run belt. A lot of people have been wearing our products on a belt. And so that was an easy opportunity to be like, we have the belt, we have the belt, we have the belt. I'm telling you, 50,000 times been saying, I have the belt, we use the belt, we use the belt, we use the belt. I could have just been selling belts. So we launched the flip belt. What I did do is go back, there's a belt out there, the flip belt, there's a fuel belt, there's all kinds of belts. This morning they had another one, the spy belt, which they're a big company, and ours is a $25 belt. Our goal is like Goodell's a $25 sunglass.
Yeah.
There's more expensive sunglasses.
Right.
More expensive running glasses. Ours is a $25 belt. And there's plenty of margin for these stores, over 60%. Everything we do is well over 60% on our margins too. But yeah, it's a $25 belt. I went out and did recon and wanted one that didn't chafe. I wanted one that carries over 18 ounces of water. I wanted one that had multiple compartments. This one's the most comfortable. I've tried them all. I became kind of a belt nerd, but I wanted to be the most affordable. And I think we are. Maybe there's a cheaper belt out there, but I think in the running space, I think there is. And quality.
It's a good belt. It's a really good one.
You like it?
Yeah, I do.
Did you buy it?
I did.
What gave you?
I mean, I won't say no. We can do a giveaway.
Yeah, we'll throw a giveaway today. Yeah, some people buy my belt. I mean, thanks for the support. Honestly, like somebody else recently, like I bought some. My friends are like, I bought some. I see pictures. I go, did I get this? No, I just decided to support you.
Yeah.
But early on in this, we needed all the support. I actually funded the company myself.
Wow.
With Rob, and that was challenging because I didn't pay myself for like a year and a half.
Wow.
So,
and you have 4 kids.
I had 2 at the time, and then 3 and 4. But yeah, just funny. I didn't work. All I did was this.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't have a day job. I was kind of an agent doing custom products for Beats by Dre. So I was like hacking at this and going after Bibboards, calling on 150 race events every day, calling Fleet Feet stores, just literally cold calling. You got to listen to me. This is the coolest product.
Wow.
So selling people, imagine if I called you and I said, hey, I have a new hat, and this hat is freaking awesome, and sheets to the moon and back. You're like, dude, it's a hat. How much? I was selling them even tartar, saying, I have this new innovation. And that person has no one's ever asked for it. They're like, am I really going to buy a bunch of your product and sit here and waste my money because you told me it's cool?
Yeah.
That's quite the sell. So after all this time, it's interesting to see so many people came by this morning like, we've had you guys for years. We had you guys. I mean, we believed. And I'm like, didn't feel like it.
But here we are.
Here we are.
That's amazing. And you made Bibboards for the running event, for the 5K.
Did. Yeah. We usually sit out there. And so in 17, I'm like, who's the cool kids in the space? TRE, Running USA, Road Race Management, Road Runners Club America. And I'm like, I got to get in with all those because I'm not cool.
But you are, Brian.
We made for them, and we sat with registration because ChronoTrack was handing out safety pins doing the bibs. So everybody that came by and signed up for the Indy 5K, I'd stand there. Here you go. So I had to just donate the product. And so they let me do that. Leonard Troy, who started TRE, brought me in. His story is that he brought in Hoka. He's got a ghost story. He's right over here. I'll introduce you, but he started this.
Wow.
Here's how the story is. Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to give it away. But Hoka guy said, hey, do you guys sell half booths? Like 10 by 10, do you sell halves? He's like, no, I don't do half a booth, so you lent it. So I'll let him tell you the rest of the story. And he became the shoe of the show.
Wow.
So
wow.
Yeah, so we're here in 7 years. I think I missed 1 year.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a pandemic year. I don't know if everybody missed it. I forget. I think everybody missed it for that, but I will always come to this. We're a running brand. It kind of feels cool.
Yeah.
A lot of people come here, we don't recognize some of their products, but I'm like, hey, people recognize you, so that feels good. It's part of the gratification, I think, of starting something, and then you believed in it and no one else did.
Yeah.
Right. Imagine going to like a party and everyone's like, what do you do? He's like, I work at Google. I'm a Facebook vice president. And I'm like, I sell bib fasteners. They're like, well, what? But here was the catch. Have you ever done a run before? And everyone's like, oh yeah, I ran the San Francisco half. And I go, did you use safety pins? And they're like, oh, wait a minute. And they're like, wait, is there money in that? They're like, yeah, there's 50 million sets of 4 safety pins annually. There's 250 million. So if I get $1 at a time, no, that's not $1 billion company, but so you can make this as not just a hobby. This is a lifelong project.
You will love this story and appreciate this story. So last weekend, we had my absolute favorite race, which is Battleship 12K. Absolutely best race. And I have my fresh chunky bag that goes with me at every race. And I had last year's TRE bib boards. So I have my little Ziploc bag because I haven't bought like the little official bibboard bags, but I had my little bag. Well, a friend of ours, we picked up their packets and we didn't have safety pins. And they're like, oh, and I was like, wait a minute. So I pulled them out and I was like, here you go. And they're like, whoa, what is this?
No way.
And I was like, yeah, here you go. And I'm like, you just have them. I have more because I have all kind of different bibboards.
We have some.
So I was like, there you go. I was like, look at me with my little bag, like my Ziploc bag full of.
So there's part of you that likes to show the new stuff too.
I do.
For sure.
I'm a nerd. Cool. I'm such a nerd because I'm like, well, especially like in Alabama, we have great running stores, but it's like you said, they can't carry everything.
True.
And so if I get to be somebody that gets to say, hey, here's where you can go buy this, or here's where you can support, like I vouch for this person, like I know Brian, like I know the bibboard guy. Cool. So it's a really cool thing for my community that I'm a part of to be like, here's somebody that I can say, yeah, like he loves the running community and we want to support him. He's a small business. He's an inventor. So as I say, the running community is a community for everyone. And you've found that spot where you're like, I can help. So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And it's showing, and they go, aha, what is that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I should have thought of that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
We have more bibboards for you if you want. And
I will never say no.
Collector's case.
Look at that.
We sold out of those.
I can imagine.
It's a very cute little case.
It is,
expensive.
yes.
And we sold 5,000 of them. And I remember when we started this, I'm like, will people really collect them?
Yes.
Like the lapel pens?
Yes.
People collect lapel pens. So we also make me snaps, which is a daily wearable snap charm. It's kind of evolved from if we can survive a race in a marathon, an Ironman, and all these races, if we can simply put a little emoji on your kid and he can snap it there at work, school.
Yeah.
Or put on their backpack
or hat. So that's the evolution of that product.
So there's a subscription box called Girl on the Run.
Yep.
And she's also in California.
Girl on the Run.
Girl on the Run box. Yeah. It's a pink box. Girl on the Run box. Yeah. But in there was bibboards. So when I opened it, I was like, oh, I know this company. So I got really excited. So that was the one I used for Battleship 12K. So I was all set and ready to go.
That's really cool. I love those stories. Like that is what's cool. I look back and I like, what was your story? And you invented and created a product that millions of people know and wear. And I had people who totally thought this is ridiculous.
Sure.
I mean, if I have the support of my business partner who's a patent attorney who's seen the greatest inventions come by, Lindsay, my wife, pushed me over, and then Mike Riley and Charlie Mahoney. I'm like, I did. Nike came out my booth, totally jumped back in the story, and you can feel their presence. They just have that where Nike vibe about. And I was like, your company's the reason why I started this. He goes, what are you talking about? And the other Nike guy, he's like, freaking brilliant. This is ridiculously smart. And I'm sitting there, I'm just listening from afar, and he doesn't know I'm like, and the one guy, I'm like, you're the reason why I started this. Nike tried adhesive bibs not working. Michelle, I won't say her, with this person at Nike. There was an article, and I started Googling it, and it says Nike ditches safety pins, tries to do adhesive bibs, right? And what we found out, and I know all the major suppliers of bibs, I know personally that first the company. Nobody does adhesive bibs. I shouldn't say nobody, but very few, like micro, less than a half shot. They stick to your clothes. We found that every person that runs sweats.
Yeah.
And then sweat comes out and it leaves in goo and a film.
Oh.
And nobody wants that on their apparel.
Yeah. No.
And we found that most people do hydration. They drink the water and Gatorade and just all that. They started the adhesive bib, but in the thing, I'm like, this is 2000. Oh, by the way, I launched in January of 17 at Beta Breakers, which is a hack, not a real run. It's a party run. It's
this is in California.
California.
Where people run naked.
Yep.
My brother-in-law keeps trying to make me go run that.
Just don't run naked.
I'm not running naked.
Okay.
You did tell me that's a legit thing.
It is. No, it's the biggest race, participant-wise, in California.
That's wild. And they say they shut down all the roads.
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah.
This is iconic. It's iconic.
Wow.
Matter of fact, Casey Wasserman owned it. Casey now owns the Olympics. Casey was a sports agent.
Okay.
Has a bunch of top athletes. Bob Myers, who was on my basketball team, Bob was an agent for him. He's just sold it. He has the LA Marathon. 16.
Okay.
It says Nike did safety pins. I'm like, Nike failed at trying to get rid of safety pins. Nike. And I'm like, if they failed, I can do this.
And they only have an R&D department.
And they do. And Michelle Miller, and I wrote to her several times. Miller. She's like way up in Nike right now.
Okay.
The project failed. You can keep up. Hi, Michelle. You'll see this one day. Just remember me. And so I was like, if they failed, maybe they don't have the idea. They won't have the practice. So I tried to sell it back to them. So I'm like, hey, I see you ran this project. I said, hey, I invented this. She never responded to me. Maybe she doesn't even check her LinkedIn. Maybe she's too. But yeah, another reason why I was like, if Nike can't do this, which most people say if Nike can't do it, I shouldn't do it. That was the reason why I was going to do it.
Yeah.
So, and since then we've sold to Brooks. I've sold to On. I've sold to Lululemon. I've sold to a lot of. I will walk around here and see some of the brands like BPN Nutrition Box, which I'm not ever a fanboy. Ever. I follow like one guy on it. I follow some basketball guy, like the corporate Cooper. I just talked to him. I got a call with this guy who's put on it. Anyway, he's launched a nutrition line, but BPN right here. You have BPN? Nick Barr.
Okay.
Nick Barr, Bear Nutrition, the best nutrition out there. Okay. I just started taking this creatine. I'm normally like 220. I'm like 205, but my cardio's through the roof. I don't ever get tired of hoops. And Nick, I think he runs a sub 5 minute mile.
Wow.
He's 6'1", 220 pounds though. That's impressive.
Good golly.
We talk about Clydesdales, but he also does marathons. But wait, there's more, and I'm bragging about this guy. He does ultras. Hold on. He's a bodybuilder in the off season, and he looks amazing.
Wow.
So one thing that I've learned is that runners are typically, Clydesdales are really small people. Think of Kipchoge and all these, kind of like the fastest people. Like they're little people.
Yeah.
And running sub 5 is insane.
Yeah.
I can run almost a 5.5. 5:15 is my fastest ever. But I'm like, this guy's a bodybuilder and also does ultras. I don't think you can do that fast, this much, and be a bodybuilder. Go look at his pictures of it. He really looks like that. This guy's insane. Wow. So anyway, and then he bought my product.
Wow.
I got an email. I got the thing, and I saw his BPM logo because they're sponsoring a relay.
Okay.
So I don't know if we can talk about it. I work with tons of brands.
Yeah.
So think races, brands, people who run. But yeah, Nick bought it. That's really good.
That's awesome. Look at you. Again, you found, it's like Gray said, you saw a need, you created it, you fixed it. It's so cool. And now people get to
customize it.
That's amazing.
Most customized thing we get, kids, family, loved ones, people who've passed. So many inspirational things. That's another thing about the learning space, I'll tell you, is that's why I like being in here. People are generally happy.
Yeah.
And just really go-getters. A lot of people are in work have to like kind of fake it. I think in running, there's so many people want to talk about their runner's high.
Yeah.
Talk about like events they did and things that inspire them. But the things that come across our customizer, pets, dogs, it's really cool. And then the logos and run groups, track clubs. We've done some podcasts, designs. We did Rise and Run podcast with Disney.
I know about them, but
yeah, we're gonna do some for you.
Yeah, there was an email out there that was like, hey, Brian.
Did I miss it? So what I usually do is do the first line and skip to the signature.
He was like, look, listen, she wrote a lot in that email.
Oh. It's
okay,
sorry. Yeah. Every time I opened your email, and she's so patient. She's so patient. Because here's the truth. Like, I am a stickler for if you email me with any kind of feeling, it's not selly. You're just trying to help. You're just trying to. This isn't necessarily about you. It's probably more better for like me. I get my brand out there.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's told. I haven't wrote her in 3 months. here's my phone number. Like, text me. I'm like, oh my gosh, they still haven't done that. And I make fun of everyone who does that to me. So go ahead.
No, I know. It's okay. Hey, in your defense, you did call me the other night.
Yes.
You did call me, and you're like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. I kept telling them I have to call her. I have to call her.
Yeah.
So I felt like such a flake.
Duh,
And there's
it's
nothing
okay.
worse than a flake.
But you're a busy flake.
Everyone's busy. And that's another thing. I got a buddy, this firefighter, Scott. And in high school, dude, I'm going to be a firefighter because they only work 10 days a month and I'm going to get like 20 days off, man. You guys are going to be working in corporate America. I'm going to be a firefighter. Guess who none of us hang out with ever because I'm too busy? Scott, the firefighter.
Scott, the
Dude,
firefighter.
you guys have no idea. I go, Scott, you have 20 days off. What do you do? What do you do with your hands? You can't even pick up the phone and call him.
Oh,
So
yeah.
everyone's too busy. But I have learned that people will make time for you if they really like you.
Oh, well, thank you for making time.
Well, yes.
Thanks.
That's exactly right.
If you want to get something done, give it to a busy
person.
And the times when I've been the busiest in my life, that's when boom, 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 I can knock it out. Go ahead and get it done. I get an email in. Normally, I would wait 2 or 3 days to respond just because of what it was about. It's like, nope, do it right now. Because I'm busy right now.
Because I'm busy right now.
Because
If you
I'm
had
busy right
time,
now.
if you had time.
Yeah. But like I teach, so in the summer I have a lot of time off, so I can kind of
What do you
relax
teach?
a little bit. Computer science.
Oh, okay. Yep. And it was cool at high school? Or?
It's the Alabama School of Math and Science. So we get the best and the brightest students from the entire state of Alabama to come to Mobile, Alabama. And they live on campus, and we teach specialized courses and things like that.
That's cool.
So
Yeah, if I
really
was playing
nice.
football today, I'd go play for the Tide.
Roll Tide. There you go. Yeah, right. Yeah. Roll Tide. Yeah.
I would. Yeah.
So what have been some lessons that you've learned through running, through life, through Bibboards?
Don't know everything. We live in a society right now. It's just filled with pride, where people are afraid to say they don't know stuff.
Sure.
A lot of times I'm on Zoom calls and I'm on with my agencies and the Amazon gurus and the meta experts, and I'm like, guys, I just want to start off right now. I own this company, but I don't know anything. And yeah, so I've learned just not to be the smartest guy in the room anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one lesson you learn, because nobody wants to tell you anything once you know it all, and they're afraid that you know what they're going to tell you, so then they get reclusive. Didn't tell you anything, so I've learned to, honestly, there's somebody will know something, but you don't. And I've learned how to take the stuff that you don't know and humbly go, I do this all the time. Somebody, my buddies, oh, dude, I knew that. I'm like, dude, I told you this 3 years ago, and you're just applying it now, my best friend. He goes, dude, I told you that. And I go, I told you that. And he goes, oh, you don't know anything. And he's just implementing it. I've been doing it with you. But that's the pride. That's the I know everything. So that's one of the lessons I've learned. In this space, too, I've also learned in running, you can't come in here and be a one-hit wonder. You can't come in here in year 1 and year 2 and everybody goes, dude, your product's awesome. You're great. Like, give me 10 million of them. This community, they actually want trusted reviews of people who run. This is like, you have to prove yourself in running. If you wanted to go invent a product and go on an infomercial tonight and sell flashlights and go, but wait, there's more, just pay shipping and handling. You don't need any trust. You just got to have a really good selling commercial. In running, patience. And it's all going back to my mom saying I was the most impatient kid on the planet. So impatient. Here I am being patient. I'm like, and the patience paid off.
Yeah.
Because now I have people saying that you're the Kleenex of this and you're doing a podcast on this. And they're like, oh, is this what patience feels like? Yes. Like,
This is what being a winner feels like.
And I'm still busting my butt and anything else. And one of my friends calls me. He's done very well. He played center field for the Atlanta Braves with my brother was shortstop, Joe. And he calls me. He goes, where are you going? Every day he calls me. He calls me. I'm his therapist. Dude, hey, where are you going? Are you going to work? Is it Groundhog Day? And I go, no, Joe, it's not Groundhog Day for me. He made money in mortgage. Now he has a winery. He crushed it. And I started mortgage. My brother does that. And those guys are all very well. I never wanted to do that. Is today Groundhog Day for you? And I go, no, Joe, it's not. I said, because today's going to be different. And he goes, you just love telling me that it's not because you think that my life's Groundhog, huh? And I'm like, no, it's just because your life is Groundhog and mine's not. I don't know what's going to happen today. I've got to hire. I don't know what brand I'm going to work with, and what partnership I'm going to get, who's going to buy this. So my life is, I'm building something. So yeah, just being patient, find out what's coming across. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's great. That was really good. When you're not at Bibboards, what fuels you? What are you passionate about?
My kids, for sure. That's mine. Coaching my kids.
Okay.
Trying to do it as good as my dad did it. Failing miserably at that. No, I think I'm doing okay. My dad was the best at it. Yeah, coach. I coached at football. I coached soccer. Coached at basketball. I coached high school basketball. I coached high school football for 20 years.
Wow.
Like, I'm just giving back to kids, coaching, spending time with my kids. Finding, that's where I spend a majority of my time. No. I'm always trying to innovate stuff and create. My kids are inventing now.
That's cool.
I told them, I don't want you to go to college. You got to prove to me why you should go. Yeah, we're kind of there now. I mean, I went to college. I got a scholarship to play football, but my parents couldn't afford college.
Yeah.
Even if I can afford college, I'm telling them not. You can't afford it. They can't afford it. This isn't I like the fact that me and my brothers had to work hit scholarships.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so where I spend my time was that. I ride dirt bikes like a lot.
Okay.
I trail ride dirt bikes. It's a nerdy passion of mine that I freaking love. I always wanted to be a dirt bike rider as a kid. I couldn't afford it. Now I just buy a bunch of bikes and I ride them.
Wow.
I have my own basketball team that I put together. I play on it. It's just an adult men's league.
Do you guys dominate?
It's the first year I haven't dominated.
Oh, okay.
Honestly. Our team was like 165-3. I won 10 years in a row. And then, I don't know, I have some good players on my team, and I think we're all older than we should be right now. Does that answer your question?
That is great.
I got the guy I played baseball for 15 years. Randy Wynn. He played for the Yankees, the Giants. He played with Steve Nash. And Santa played two sport college players.
Yeah.
He's a stud player. Plays with us. I got some good guys. Look, one guy won a national championship, the UC Davis Division I AA. I have another guy who played with the Indianapolis Colts for 5 years.
Wow.
Came here to play for the Niners. Eric Swoop, who's on our team. I've had some really cool, big name people on our team. This year, I have everyone on our team played college basketball.
Okay.
But 49, 50, I'm 47. And the team we're playing, so I was like 30, 31, 32. And I just haven't. Half the time I find myself guarding someone, I'm like, dude, I wish I met you when I was 3. Because this would be a different situation. Yeah. Well, you know what? There's not one basketball player in the NBA that's 41. Nor is there one player, I think, that's 41 in baseball.
Right. No.
Tom Brady's gone in football, so there's no more 41-year-olds. Aaron Rodgers, 40. My brother-in-law was his tight end at Cal. This excuse is okay. I'm just making excuses.
Hey, that's what I say about running.
So you ask what I do, I'm off tight.
I love that. That's so cool. Staying active, moving, loving the kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you guys made me think, what else do I do? I'm boring.
What advice would you give to somebody that wants to start, whether it's inventing or in running?
What's crazy is I probably should be a runner more. I do 5Ks. I've done half. I've done Spartans and things like that. But I'm definitely not a marathoner. I'm not doing all these races of all these events that I get invited to. Vacation races, destination races. I get invited to a lot. And it's really, and I just never do them. I probably should be, so I can run forever. I actually can. I played receiver. I can run. And it's not just sprints. I think I have a big nose. I think I'm like a horse. We get a lot of air. It's my belief. But I can run. I can run for a while. Like I won't. Yeah.
It all has the trees.
Yeah. You know, running so crazy is that maybe there's definitely a correlation between runner's high and being happy in general. And you can see it if you live it. To get started running or to get started with the business?
Both. Yeah, let's go both.
Just pick one or both. But yeah. What advice would you give to an upcoming entrepreneur that's wanting to get into the space?
Creating a product and inventing. We all are inventors. You guys probably invented something. It's now out there and made millions, and it should have been you. So obviously, something. I invented that. I could have done that. People have been pitching inventions about that. It's actually not as hard, I think, to launch something. Product.
Yeah.
Software too, really. Just finding out, does it exist? Is there a need for it? Does somebody pay you for it? Can you buy it for a reasonable margin that somebody's willing to pay for it and make enough money in between? And can you get it into the hands of that person? But a physical product is either it's out there and needs to be done better. And then with Google and Bing and search, in seconds, and Amazon, I can find exactly what's out there. I'll tell you real quick if a product has legs in it or not. And I could be wrong. But I'll tell you, I probably would say I'm not going to be. And yeah, I think inventing or creating, or become a better marketer if you can't invent. And do something, do totally opposite of what everyone else is doing. And these guys from Pit Viper, Those glasses have been around since Baywatch and Randy Macho Man Savage. No one's invented anything over there.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool glass. And every one of my kids that I coach in football wear those pit vipers.
Wow.
Justin Jefferson wears pit vipers. They went out and told a brand and marketing story, and a lot of companies don't have a brand story. What's the why behind it? Where did it come from? It's kind of like when your story is very similar to, Here's another thing is like people don't think that they can do it because it's going to cost them a ton. And they need investment, and they want Shark Tank and all that. You can get prototypes and things made from overseas. You can make them here. Or you can get a prototype made from a little machine like for $150. Anything. Be like, okay, I made my first Diptop, the spill resistant lid. I went back to my clay teacher in high school, Mr. Warden. You know, you kick the thing and you do the pot. It's like, here's my idea and here's a drawing of it. Can you make one out of clay? He's like, yeah, well, made our first one that fit on a can. I took pictures of it. I sent it to my factory overseas. They did their first rendering of my spill resistant lid. And I was like, let's try this plastic. Let's twist this. There it is. How much are they? 25 cents? Okay, cool. I'm selling them for $5. There's plenty of margin.
Wow.
Let's make them in these colors.
Yeah.
Okay, these flavors. I had a product and everything launched. So yeah, I think in creating, innovating, inventing is easy to do if it hasn't been done. And you can find on uspto.gov, the patent office, if it's out there. And then if something that you think that no one's done it right, like pit vipers, you better figure out how to become a better marketer. And I think to do that, which I'm still learning now, is to do exactly opposite. Whatever. No one's doing that. They're the only ones in here handing out bananas and on a machine and screaming at people and with big Fu Manchus. Who else is doing that? Is anyone else in here doing that?
No. There's a guy dressed like a squirrel.
He's doing it. He's doing it.
There's that guy.
I'm surprised he doesn't have pit vipers on.
Any final words of wisdom, my friend?
I think wisdom. Yeah, wisdom's a good one. Because a lot of people think they're smart, but they're not wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, think of an old soul. Humility. I've always struggled with being proud and arrogant and boastful and having I came from very humble beginnings. A lot of love in our house, but not a ton of it. Just there wasn't good money management, but a lot of humility and just not being too arrogant or boastful. I look it, but I just don't want to be it. You know, if that makes sense. I just had this so much. I've never really liked you, Ryan, until I met you and sat with you and talked to you. And I'm like, well, thank you. Why don't you sit with me and talk to me?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah? Well, me too. That's what I'm calling about you.
Jeez. I did send it a lot of emails. So I tried to get you to talk to me.
You tried. So, humbleness, just getting away from just pride so much right now. It's like the fall of everyone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would just say those that proclaim to be wise became foolish. One of the new things Bibboards made was I want to help, and I've been doing this for a long time, but I'm now ready to bring people underneath our umbrella of you have an idea, a concept. I'm not going to take your idea and launch it like the Shark Tank.
Sure.
Which I'm hoping to do this next year. I'm going to pitch to them Run Tank, where people pitch products to.
Oh, fun.
And I'm looking for not the new shoe foam.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear Asian.
Yeah.
We're going to turn them down. I don't want to hear about shoe foam. I want to hear new products to make running better.
That's cool.
Run Tank.
Yeah.
Where you get up there and pitch. And I asked Steve Fleck on the race announcer. You know Steve Fleck? You should get him on there.
Okay.
He's announced. I think he's done Canadian Ironman, done a lot of Toronto Marathon. The big world cycling.
Okay.
He's the announcer.
Wow.
I said, you can MC it. But yeah, ideas to life. Bring
That's
them to
cool.
life, like real ideas, like Charlotte. But for running specific.
That's so cool.
Do you think that'd be
cool?
fun?
That'd be really cool. I guess great. I think I should be on the panel too.
That'd be cool.
He's like, no.
Yeah.
The face said different, Brian.
This idea came up last night. I'm definitely.
Listen, I'm all about trying new products.
Well,
I think it's really cool.
She also wears her heart on her sleeve. I mean, she doesn't hide her emotions. So if someone is pitching something and she really doesn't like it, her face is saying it loudly.
No, your mouth needs to say it.
Well, it will, but
Yeah. No, that's what this penalty. If you watch Shark Tank,
yeah,
they tear them a new one.
Yeah.
And then they build them up. They have to prove
Like, you know what? Try again.
Yeah. I'm sorry that this sucks. You know this whole positivity movement we've been talking about? Not anymore, sweetheart.
That's not a story I'd want.
No, that's happened. I've been a panelist with AJ Kubani, who started As Seen on TV.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank. Martin Bispels, president of QVC. And there I was, the only no-name guy at the end of the panel.
Wow.
In Atlanta, at what show was that? Home and Houseware show.
Okay.
So it's called Inventor's Corner. Just picture
that's cool.
There was 60 people pitching to us.
Wow.
And there was this whole room was filled with an audience.
Yeah.
It was huge. And so people would pitch products. And there was products that came up, you're like, it's freaking, it's $1 billion. That's so amazing. I can't give you an example. Then there's people come up. One guy, and I had to tell him it sucked. You're going to tell him, you tell me what you've, I don't disagree with me if you want to. Umbrella. He says, oh, I grew up in this windy city, and holding the umbrella, sometimes when the wind catches it, it does this, and it flaps, and it flies out of your hand. I invented the brass knuckles umbrella. So what it was, it looked like brass knuckles that you put your fingers through, and that way it wouldn't slide off your fingers. I said, how many old ladies are going to carry around?
For real.
And he argued with us, and then he argued with the Martin, who was the QVC guy, and everyone's like, dude, you just got to stop. How much have you invested in this? Put your money back in your pocket.
Wow.
And he's, I'm going to prove you guys wrong, like you've seen on Shark Tank. I hope the kid made them. I hope he made it. Hope we're wrong.
The question is, have you seen them
Never.
out there?
Never, and I've looked. There was a Fiber Energy. You know,
Okay.
the Sean
Yeah.
Fiber Energy. So when I launched Diptops, we went to NACS, National Association of Convenience Stores. So picture a show like this for everything that goes into a convenience
Okay.
store. And it was like 2000 and, I don't know, I forget what year, 3, 4, 5, 7, I forget the year. It was the energy show. It was when energy gummies came out, energy drinks, Rockstar Energy, Monster Energy, Fiber Energy. It was, you walked around the show and there was so much energy in there. People's eyes were like, dude, it was crazy. Everyone was hopped up on frickin' energy everything. It was called energy. They had energy chocolates and energy gum and energy.
Yeah.
That's when I saw news. I'm like, dude, that was out like 24 years ago. 20 years ago. And Fiber Energy was right behind me. I go, Anthony. Fiber Energy was freaking stupid. I go, I drink coffee. I got energy for like an hour.
Yeah.
I go, maybe 2 hours?
Yeah.
Energy for 2 hours? How long do you need energy for? Like I go to the gym for an hour, play basketball an hour?
Yeah.
I need 2 hour energy, 5 hour energy. I go, this is stupid. And they had a little table. You guys know who Fiber Energy is?
Yeah.
So I've been wrong. It's $1 billion company. There's a lot of people who need 5 hour energy. So there's scenarios like that. Brass knuckles, I was right. 5 hour energy, wrong. I was wrong with Rockstar. I was also wrong. Russ Golden Cloud Weiner started the company. And I remember I'm like, dude, I don't want my kids to drink that and turn into a rock star and tear down hotels. And yeah, man, I drink Rockstar. It's like this liquid death. I'm like, I stay away from death.
Yeah.
Yes. All things evil. Stay away. Stay away. But Rockstar. And there Russ was, who I met later, sold for $525 million ago.
Wow.
Everybody wanted to be a rock star. What do I know? I just didn't want to be.
You want to support a project that you believe in, right?
Yeah.
So if you're like, this is not my style, this is not what I want to do, even if it becomes successful, I still just don't want to be associated with it or still be a part of it.
Yeah. It's good point. You can pick what you want to be a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this space though. Running is really cool. Yeah. I mean, how many people do you know that do what they love? Really? How many times, like, there was one guy, I won't say who they are, they're way over there. And I've known him for a while, and all he could talk about, how's Bibboards doing? You a millionaire yet? You gonna buy a yacht and a mansion? And I'm like,
It's not my lifestyle.
no, I'm not gonna. I said, but I'll jump on your yacht. And he goes, I just want to retire. I've been doing this for 27 years. And I'm like, your kid's in high school? No, they're out of college. What's your rush? Why are you doing this? I don't want to tell you what he sells, but I'll tell you what he sells. Finisher medals.
Oh.
And he's got some awesome races.
Yeah.
But how could you not be excited?
About what you do.
What you
Yeah.
I literally wake up every day. I can't wait to get to work. What am I going to go do right now? Take some orders from companies and running and talk to runners and event directors and get ready. Is it really that? What else is there to do?
Right.
I like it so much because it's like you said, no day's the same. But also, as you talked about with the custom bibboards, there's a story behind that. There's a reason why they're sending that. they're like, hey, I want this, whether it's a loved one or a pet or whatever it is, or a saying, something means something to them.
Yeah.
And so I think you're helping create stories. You're helping create those finish line memories.
That's a good point. That is so true. Never really looked at it like that. Yeah, the motivational stuff that comes across is pretty inspiring.
Sure.
And then you get a review. By the way, you have almost 30,000 reviews. Run it, most positive people in the world.
Yeah.
We bragged about, before the pandemic faded to the players.
Right.
That was interesting. I used to go around the office med and then 10, 11, 12, 13,000. I'm like, you guys, when was the last negative review we got? Like even a slow on shipping.
Yeah.
Which is like the most we get. So we get too many orders and sometimes they delay. And it's like, we never get them. What's up with the running people? They don't ever complain. And then after the pandemic, everybody's like, where's my package? They suck. You're like, you just ordered yesterday? We're not Amazon.
Right.
But very positive industry.
Yeah.
And it shows through the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's always fun. Yeah, there's really nothing to complain about being in this space.
Yeah.
I try to think of another, like, football industry. You know, I could go be in football world too if I wanted. I had an opportunity to work for the Niners, and you know, I've got a long lost relative who's in the NFL, and that's not as positive as this. That's like a business. That's like corporate. That's corporate America.
Yeah.
If you really want to know, this doesn't feel so corporate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like a big reunion. Yeah. Who you gonna see? Like you got like the crazy uncle, but then you also have
You can think there's a lot of crazy uncles.
you got a lot of crazy uncles in here, and then you have the uncle that never wants to talk to you. But then you're like, hey, Uncle Brian.
Does like one Thanksgiving every 12 years. You're like, are you still in our family? Who are you related to again?
How are we related?
What are your kids' names? You're my cousin.
Hey, isn't that so funny?
That's great.
So funny.
Brian, this has been amazing. Thank you so much. I think one of the coolest things I learned from Brian is persistence. And that is, if you believe in your product so much, be persistent about it. If you have an idea that you think could help your community, be persistent about it. If you think, hey, this idea, this product, whatever it is, could benefit XYZ group, be persistent. Find somebody that will listen and go after it. Chase that dream. And I think that is exactly what I think of when I think about Brian, and that is just be persistent. Get out there, chase that dream, and either someone's gonna take it or someone's not. And so you just never know. You never know the impact that your story can have on somebody. You never know the impact that your idea may have on somebody. And I think that is so fascinating. And you say, hey, what do you think about this idea? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And you get feedback, and we grow from one another. And that's one of the coolest things that I appreciate about our running community as a whole, is that we are honest, and we will tell you if that's a good idea or a bad idea. And we share. This is like, hey, this is what we're missing. Can somebody fill this need? And somebody always steps up. It's just absolutely amazing. And so kudos to Bibboards. Thank you, Brian, so much, my dear friend. You are absolutely phenomenal, and cannot wait to see more of you guys. I'm such a fan of Bibboards and just all the products. I highly recommend the belt. It's been one of my favorite things to run with now. And of course, all the Bibboards, they're so fun. You can just jazz them on. I am one of those now. I look at people's shoes, running belts if they're wearing them, and then I also look at their Bibboards. But with Bibboards, I'm gonna name drop here, and that's gonna be Matt Clark in our running community. I like seeing which ones he has mixed up. So it's so fun. It's like you can be artsy and creative with it. And so that inspired me to do the same, because I was like, you know what? It's kind of fun that they don't have to match. I like that idea. So thanks, Matt, for that idea. So definitely, guys, go check them out. Bibboards is the way to go. It's so fun. That referral code for Bibboards is RYS. And so when you go to the website at Bibboards, you can type in YRS and save some money. I actually bought some for a friend to celebrate her upcoming marathon, and I am just stoked about it. So a great stocking stuffers, by the way. I think it's a great idea. So definitely check them out. Again, you can get them custom. And I also like how Brian talked about how he gets encouraged by the words that come through, or celebrating someone's life. Like, that is just, again, such a cool concept that it's not just plain Dane all the time, but that it's with meaning and with purpose. Again, super cool. So shout out to Bibboards, shout out to Brian. Thank you so much for spending time with us. I know you're a very busy individual and I appreciate you, my friend, and just learning more about you and Bibboards. So definitely go check them out and use that discount code RYS. And also go check out my friends at Do Goods Mercantile, guys. They are our podcast partner of the month. They believe in the running community. They are runners themselves. They absolutely love bringing in really fun stuff. I get my jewelry from there. I get my Christmas shopping from there. My doormats, you name it, I probably have it. It's amazing, and I cannot wait to go back shopping, and I will be there soon. I absolutely love Do Goods. So do some good, shop with some purpose, go check them out. Don't forget to tell them that you want to use that Run Your Story discount as well. And you can also shop online. Reach out to Do Goods if you have any problems with that. They will be more than happy to help you because they are absolutely servant hearts and they love people and they love the community. So definitely go check them out. And thank you to Do Goods so much for believing in the running community and for supporting this podcast. So we love Do Goods. Thank you, Annie and Chop, so much. And thank you to the running event for making this possible. You know, that's where we got to meet up at, and we just truly appreciate them so very much and for who they are and what they're doing. And we also appreciate Gilliard Tech Services. He got to be in on the podcast as well, and so we really appreciate Greg Gilliard from Gilliard Tech Services. Go check him out. We could not do what we do without Greg Gilliard and his editing, his website. He has made all of my visions come true and exceeded them. So thank you so much, Greg Gilliard from Gilliard Tech Services, and for what you're doing. And appreciate you using your gift and your heart for the running community. And thank you to all of our listeners and to our Patreon supporters. You guys are amazing. Our Patreon supporters have kept this podcast going. We're in season 3, guys, and we are about to end 2024, and we have so many more stories to tell, and our Patreon supporters make this possible. Our listeners, we could not do this without you. And so we are truly grateful for this community that supports us and trusts us with sharing your stories. So definitely share them away, because we know that the more they get shared, the more that people get to hear them, because your stories are worth hearing. They're absolutely amazing. So thank you to every single person that believes in Run Your Story, that has listened to the podcast, and that has shared their stories. They are absolutely phenomenal. So, all right, guys, until next Wednesday, get out there and go run your story, because every story needs to be heard.